So this is just a continuation of what we're doing. I'm only going to do now number 5 and 8, just because we're doing with the squared, and obviously this might scare some people, but it's really not that hard. These 7 and 6 is pretty much not that bad. So we're going to do this, 4x squared equals 1. Same thing we've been doing before. Now divide 4 to both sides. We got x squared equals 1/4. Not bad so far, right? So now if we get cosine squared, put that back in, of theta equals 1/4. That is actually saying cosine of theta equals plus or minus 1/4, because these are two answers, right? Squared means two of these. So it's plus and a minus version of it. So if we wrote that long ways, we would have two of these. 1/4, negative 1/4. Sounds cool? Now, actually, let's go back a step. I just realized something we could do to make our lives easier, because we could keep going that way, but we are good mathematicians, right? And I just saw this. So we're going to come back to this step right here, and I want to show you what I saw. I just noticed. That's the squared, radical of both things. So that cancels that out, so now that's cosine of theta equals square root of 1, which is basically saying this. Gotcha. You got me so far? So cosine theta, I'm just rewriting it up here, 1, because square root of 1 is 1. Square root of 4 is 2. Cool. And because it was square rooted, that makes it plus and minus. So we have cosine theta, that makes everything easier now. We got positive 1/2 and a negative 1/2. Whoops, 1/2. So these are our two answers. Now we're going to use the arc signs of both of them and find out everywhere we see negative 1/2, which is, looking at my unit circle, I don't have to use a calculator now. I have a good part of the unit circle memorized, but you can check on yours. So it would be 2 pi over 3, 4 pi over 3, pi over 3. I want to actually make a video on how to memorize the whole unit circle with just your hands. It's kind of my cheating thing I do. Well, it's not really cheating, it's just a trick. That's about it for that one. Now, let's get into this one down here that looks a little bit scary. It really isn't. It honestly isn't. It's just some people will be like, oh my gosh, like what do we do? You can't do the little X thing. Well, you kind of can, but we don't have to for this one. So I'm going to rewrite it up here. So this is number 8. So we got tangent theta over 2 equals radical 3. So take a second to think, what would you do? What would you do? So we could take the arctangent, which means this argument comes outside, equals arctangent. Now, some people will write it like this, or you can write it like this. I do it this way just because my calculator has it that way. Some people's calculators have it that way. Both mean the same thing. So don't be alarmed by that, okay? And then this stays as the new argument. Boom. Okay? So far so good? Now, we're going to find the arctangent of this. If you have the unit circle on you, you could do that, or you could calculator it. Not a big deal. So we're going to leave that by itself. The arctangent of that would be pi over 3. Okay? So far so good? And now we could use basic algebra. Boom, boom, multiply both sides. Theta equals 2 pi over 3. See how easy that one was? That's why I kind of covered that. It's just knowing that rule, that guy can jump there and become arctangent. You feel me? That's literally all we just did. Same thing with this, same thing with that. You would have 2 theta, right? And you could divide 2 to both sides. You feel me? So you could kind of see how this one would work out. This one you can kind of see how it would work out because of that. It's not hard at all. It's just basic algebra with little trigonometric ratios on them. Don't let that freak you out.